Hi, network members. I'm Dee King, Vice Chair of the Network for 2021 and Corporate Services Development Officer with Guarantee Bank. Today, we have the incredible opportunity to get to know a key leader of our community. Craig, on behalf of the network, thank you so much for being here today. We recognize that your time is absolutely precious as you lead Mercy through the pandemic, so we are honored to have this opportunity.
Thank you.
Before we get to the questions, I'm going to share some information about you and Mercy. Craig McCoy is president of Mercy Springfield Communities, which includes 7 hospitals, 150 clinics, and nearly 10,000 employees across Southwest Missouri. Mercy is the area's second largest employer with 5 billion, yes, that is billion with a B, in annual revenue. Craig began his career as a paramedic in Greenville, South Carolina at age 22 and met his wife, Pam, when they both worked at the ER. They've been married for 23 years and have 2 teenagers. When Craig isn't working, you will find him at the gym, working on house projects, or playing golf. Craig moved to Springfield last year, just 2 months before the pandemic really hit the US, and that is quite the timing to start a new job. Lastly, I would be remiss if I didn't share with the audience my personal experience with Mercy last year. Craig, as you already know, my husband and I last year spent over 70 days and nights at Mercy as he battled cancer, and we felt so incredibly blessed to be able to stay close to home and have the highest level of care. There were so many incredible doctors and nurses that truly went above and beyond to care for us. And because of that experience, I have a completely different level of appreciation and understanding of what it means to have Mercy in our community.
Thank you for sharing that.
And so with all that said, are you ready for your first question?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's dive in. Craig, what is one thing that 2020 taught you about our community that makes you excited for the future?
Well, as you mentioned, I moved here in January, just right before the pandemic started. And so have gotten to see the community through a different light. I would say there's a lot of the community I haven't seen, haven't gotten to experience because of the abnormalcy of life this past year. But I think in a word, I would sum it up with resilient. I think this community is very resilient. Seeing the way that folks have come together and have worked together and collaborated, people that would normally be competitors, just realizing that when the time's tough, we need to all be shouldering the wheel together and pushing through. And I had heard that about Springfield before, but getting to see it in action this early on has truly been remarkable.
I love that. Resilient, I feel like it is a great word to describe Springfield. All right, next question. Can you share one thing unique to Mercy that our community should look forward to in 2021?
I would say that one thing that makes Mercy very unique is its mission. It's a mission that was founded in Dublin, Ireland, over 200 years ago with Sister Catherine McCoy. It came here to the United States, specifically to Springfield in 1891. And I think that what you will see within the next year is an expansion on how we live that mission. We will continue to grow our core business, our service offerings, not necessarily bricks and mortar, but growing our service offerings. But I think the most important thing is making sure that we are living the mission of caring for folks and carrying on the healing ministry of Christ in the biggest and best way possible. And so I think that, partnerships that you will see us form, work that you will see us doing in the community that a lot of people would probably even question, hey, why is Mercy there? It's all because it's core tenets of living out that mission. And so how are we engaging with folks that are marginalized by society and not just in the physical healthcare realm? How are we working to meet needs in the overall care and finding different ways to partner with folks in the community who are doing it well and be able to help resource them in a bigger and more powerful way, ultimately to make our community a better place.
I love that. Sounds like there's a lot of good things to look forward to. Next question. What advice would you have for young professionals on how they can continue to be an asset to their organization and the community in 2021?
I remember, early in my career as a young professional, I was always looking at, how could I get more experience in the workplace? How could I continue to grow? What could I do to learn more about the business? And that is absolutely important. You'll never stop learning in your business, but don't let that take the place of learning in the community and relationship building in the community. The thing that I encourage people all the time is stop and truly reflect on why you do what you do. I ask people that question a lot of times, and they'll hear, "Oh, well, I do what I do because I like to help people." And say, "Okay, well, that's great. What does that mean? And how do you go about doing that?" And a lot of times you'll see people stumble over that question. And I think it's important to take time to reflect on, why do you really do what you do? And is it meeting, your personal needs of fulfillment? I think it's important for all of us in leadership positions and business positions, any of us, to have the opportunity to pour back into our communities, because these are the communities that gave us the opportunities and continue to give us the opportunities. And so how are we making sure that we're giving back to the community to pay that forward, if you will, to give other people opportunities that they might not be getting? I love a quote I read a while back, and I hate that off the top of my head. I can't remember who it's attributed to, but it says, "You haven't truly lived until you've done something for someone who can never repay you." And I think finally, or constantly finding those opportunities to do things for people who can never repay you, not looking for spotlight, not looking for accolades, but just knowing that you have a difference to make. You have the ability to make a difference in somebody's life by pouring back in your community. I think it brings so much more fulfillment to what you do on a day-to-day basis.
That is a beautiful quote. I've heard it before too, but you're so right. And in my personal experience in the past year, when my husband was sick, it was just incredible to see the people that came out of the woodwork who I had met through different community events and different things that I had done, to try to give back to the community, and how it wasn't done for any reason other than you wanting to give back. But I felt like I got tenfold back in how people took care of us. It really was just, it's something that'll just, warm my heart for the rest of my life. And so, there's that side of it too. That's not why you do it, but in some way, shape, or form, either people will end up helping you or you'll be able to do the same for them. So that's awesome. All right, last question. And this is a big one. I'm interested to hear this from you. What did 2020 teach you about yourself that you're going to use in the future?
Yeah, the interesting thing, I had thought about this. I know you sent the questions over to me ahead of time. Thank you for that. I thought about this one. In actuality, it was the importance of physical health. And the reason I say that is I moved here in January. My family didn't move here until June. So I had about 6 months where I was here. I was transitioning in a new job. The pandemic had hit. Honestly, I wasn't taking care of myself the way that I should be. That came to light in September when I actually got COVID. And I realized that, if I had been in better physical shape, in better physical health, I think I would have weathered it a whole lot better than having 2 weeks where I was just down and out.
Wow.
And so I think that, what I would say that I learned and I would encourage people is, make sure you take time for your physical health. You'll never have enough time to do all the things you need to do at work. Work will always be there. You've got one opportunity to live this life, and so make sure that you take care of yourself in the best fashion possible. It will help you in every aspect. Ever since I had COVID, and then said it's time to get back to the gym. It's time to get started working out. Energy level, I would say mental health, clarity of thought, everything has been so much better, and because of just taking a little bit of time to to invest in myself.
Yeah, I love that. That's fantastic advice. And I think the thing that really sticks out to me about this conversation is you pointing out, and I can't remember the full quote, but if we as young professionals focus on doing things for people who can't repay us, it will ultimately come back to us in some way, shape, or form. Not that that's the reason for it, but that's one of the things that I found in life.
Right.
Well, Craig, thank you so much for taking the time, and wish you all the best in the coming months as you work through the pandemic. And on behalf of the network, we're so appreciative for all the things that you are doing to help our community through the pandemic.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
All right. Have a great rest of your day.